Activators. Welcome to Season 3 of Own Your Divine Light Show. I am Janet Miller, the Divine Light Activator, and I'm so happy to have you here during this momentous time, something none of us have experienced before, and I feel it's so important for us to share our experiences. We are in the shift of ages, and we are learning about ourselves, and it is a gift. If you are healthy, it can be a gift. If you are recovering or lost someone, I send my heartfelt blessings to you. Right now, I would like to have a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters of color. You all deserve to live in safety, sending you love and blessings. So let's just take a moment and sending our brothers and sisters here energy of love, compassion, understanding. Okay, so when you're ready. All right, we are here to learn and support you, our friends of color, any way we can. We are ready to create the world we are waiting for, and we are going to do this together. So what will our new normal be as our world continues to shift? I am so excited and honored to have as our guest, Donna Marie Hallisey. Donna Marie is an intuitive light worker, medium, and facilitator of transformational energy healing. Her ability to connect with spirit allows us access to divine light consciousness. This includes her ascended masters, healing masters, the angelic realm, the archangels, the wisdom of the ancients, high priestesses, Celtic goddesses, and the planetary support of the intergalactic, and so much more. The intention of her work is to serve and support each client for the greatest and highest good by bridging clarity and understanding on any limiting belief or blockage, personal and professional, that is preventing them from being in their highest vibration with all they are destined for. Using her mediumship, she connects to your team of spirit guides through breath work, and that allows her to see, feel, and lift energy immediately. And she is amazingly talented. She also uses EFT tapping with spirit to clear and transmute energy when a deeper issue is in need of healing. All of her work is guided through Source Divine Light. In the last 2 years, Source has been facilitating energy reboots for light workers because of the ascension that she is aligning with and the capacity to which she can hold this upgrade. So Spirit's intention for her is to release any energy that is lowering you vibrationally and keeping you at arm's length from your ideal life. The biggest takeaway you absolutely should know and understand, or must know, I try to take that shit out of there, must know your own identity, your own energy vibration, because it is the key to aligning you to be the vibrational match to your goals and dreams. The intention of her work is to show you how easy it is to step back into your alignment and return you to full empowerment, your wisdom, and ultimately the best expression of your soul's mission and the best life intended. So that's quite a resume, Donna Marie. Welcome, welcome. I am so honored and excited to have you here. And
I'm honored and excited to be with you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so and I want to know, how did you get aligned with this work? Because I know this is so powerful.
You know what I think is so funny is when I'm doing these telesummits and they're asking for a bio, and I'm thinking it's so, I think that every light worker sits down and goes, oh, okay, we got to put this together.
It's a hard
thing. It's hard to describe what you do. I mean, and the work that they have me do is constantly changing. Different things are coming through me all the time. So to kind of give it a name or a title or a label, I find that it's something like, okay, well, I feel that transformational energy worker is the closest that I can come to, and feeling that's truthful, because I do align with spirit energy, and it is through the transformation of them moving through me that we're able to transform energy for others. So, how did I come into doing this? Clearly I was designed for this. It was not a life path that I thought I was going to be doing. Life kind of took me this way. I was always intuitive as a child, empathic as a child. My senses were quite good, but I certainly didn't grow up in an environment that understood it. I just kind of thought, everyone was like this, and I would question other people when I could feel things or see things, and they're like, no, I don't not feeling what you're feeling, or I don't see what you see. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I thought everybody could see what I could see. So, and then I was kind of like, when I saw that nobody in my surroundings even understood what I was talking about, I kind of just shelved it, you know, I kind of let it be. And it was really after the birth of my daughter that all my abilities just poured out of me. It was like somebody opening up a Pandora's box, and all these things came out. It was like too much too soon, too many things all at the same time. And I was a mom at the same time too. So I was overwhelmed with all the different things that were happening to me. And I was very fortunate at the time. I had started doing a meditation practice when I was in my very early 20s, 22, 23. And so I reached out to the woman who was teaching me this practice, and she ended up becoming my mentor. Incredible woman, Tina. And she literally guided me through every ascension that I made. She schooled me through all of the different abilities that were coming out of me, explaining to me how to fine tune it, how to hone it, and also teaching me that I didn't have to do everything just because I was able to do it, that I could pick and choose. So because I was a new mom and I really wanted to focus on parenting, I just said, you know, let me keep everything away for now. Only what really needs to come through. So they had me do, the only thing they were letting me, I said, I'll just do one thing. So I was doing a lot of soul rescue, and that I could do it at night. So it was not really disturbing my day. And even that became a little bit too much. And I just said, guys, you know, I need to just keep this aside a little bit. This is taking too much of me. And it kind of resurfaced again in my 40s. And then they're like, okay, sorry, you know what? Chop, chop.
That's interesting. You know, well, one question I got when you were asked saying this is, did it help you in parenting? Did you have insights that you may not have, you know, that you allowed to come through?
Well, you know, it helped me immensely in parenting because I had a very sensitive child.
Okay.
And understanding that sensitivity really helped me understand who she was. So you know, there are no accidents, you know, everything is in perfect timing. And I needed to they made it very clear. They said, you know, you need to do a catch up to understand what this little child is going to be going through so that it's not misread or misunderstood. So you need to get on the game. And I did, you know, so, you know, and everything happens in divine timing, and I feel, and when it's meant to happen. And so, you know, I did, I always kept doing it, but now it's my profession, you know, and I never thought of it as being a profession. I learned tapping 10 years ago, and it was just another tool that I thought, oh, this is really interesting. I was always, you know, in holistic energy. I do homeopathy. You know, I have one bottle of Benadryl in my house for anyone if they have an allergic reaction. Advil, that's it. Everything else is homeopathy. So I really have been educated through good friends and other teachers on schooling the body through, you know, working with the body and working with the natural elements to support it and support you. So when I heard about the tapping, I went and took the certification. I was very good at it because of my intuitive nature. And then the woman who taught me said, well, I'm going to do a second certification and I might stop. So if you want to take it. So anyway, long story short, I took the second certification, and then you have to build all these hours. And so I was just working with the friends and family and everyone who I could get my hands on. And the more I was doing it, people were coming back to me going, you know, I don't have this anymore, and I don't have that anymore. And I'm like, they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, holy crap, you know, like, this is really working. So a good friend of mine had a wellness center, and she asked if I would come in and work one day a week and work with her clients. And as I started to do that, that's when my team, I call them management, my spirit team, they stepped in and they said, now that we have you here, we want to work through you, because the process that you use is very good, but we can go so much faster. You're wasting time.
Wow.
So what would take, you know, a couple of sessions to lift, clear, and remove and rewire the brain, they were doing it bing, bang, boom. And in one session, it was done. And I was like, oh, you know, like, this is a whole different ballpark. So they go, you know, so I explain, I go, like, you know, when you do tapping in and of itself, it's an amazing tool. But when you do it with spirit, it's like tapping on speed. I mean, it just revs everything up. And what's happening right now with this de-ascension is that that energy moves much, much, much faster. And they just don't, a spirit doesn't have time to sit with anything. They see the problem, they see the situation, they go in and clear, like, okay, done. You don't have to reiterate why or this or that, like all that you used to do, you're slowing it down, you don't need to do that anymore. We're just going to come in, as long as you can acknowledge it, as long as you can understand it, and you're willing to let it go, which is the key, being willing to let go, then it's gone. It's done in immediate time. So it's really dependent on where the client is at, you know, how ready they are to release a situation. Sometimes you think you're ready to let it go and you're not, but they can lift as much as you're willing to release. So it's amazing to watch it work and watch somebody shift right in front of you and see something that was, you know, an hour ago a problem, and an hour later it's like, no, it's not, you know. So quite powerful.
Great. Yeah, that's really interesting. I you know, I've done a little EFT, but it's worked some, but I haven't gotten to that level. And so that sounds really interesting. So I have another question, and let's see. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, oh, it's going out of my mind. Why is that happening? So I know with all the higher consciousness going on and all the 5D reality we're meant to live in, everyone's going through this shifting. Everyone's, you know, the world is changing, all this outer things that are going on, you know, that well, everybody's wanting to have a voice now so they can shift. It's almost like seeing each group of people. First we had the women, now we have the, you know, people of color. Everyone's up to get things cleared out. So how do you see that happening? Is your management coming in and saying, you know, this is what's going on? Do they give you any insights on that?
Yeah, I do have an insight of what's going on, and I don't know if this is, you know, I'm not going to go there with explaining what has been made clear to me on everything that has been unfolding.
Oh, of course.
I can say that things are coming forward so that they can be seen in the truth of what they are, and this manipulation that has taken place for too long is being called out, let's just say. And in terms of the 5D ascension, in order for us to make that energetic transition, our bodies, our light bodies, need to be lifted of the weight that we're carrying that lowers us, that keeps us in the 3D density. Okay. And what we need to clear is a lot of our energetic karma that we've carried from other lifetimes, and programs we've carried, oaths that we've carried. We have to release ourselves of things that we agreed to, and move from those things that confine our spirit or our divinity, so that we can make that ascension. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's being churned up to be seen, to be released, and to be clear, so that you can make that transition. It's different for everybody, depending on where they're landed in their own vibrational set point, depending on what their belief systems are, because that holds you in a certain energetic vibration. And everybody's a little bit all over the place. So the way they're showing it to us is that these very powerful light worker. Now, here's the thing. Every single human being is a light worker. We all are. We all have divine light within us. It is the time, when they say it's the awakening, it means it's time for every light work to be reignited, to return to the truth, their divinity, their truth, their heart-centeredness, you know? So it's returning to that which is you, your sovereignty, your I am presence, the truth of who you are and why you're here, and what you're here to live and experience and express through your own soul's divination. So these paradigms, these ways, these things that no longer support that are being challenged, lifted, and cleared, so that these beautiful souls can reignite and come back into their full divination and live the experience, the joy, the happiness that their life is here to live and experience. And there are definitely light workers who are, let's say, working in their practice that are, you know, the way showers. They're cutting the path for those that are still over here and are still trying to make that ascension, or don't even understand yet. As we hold a higher vibration, then you raise the vibration of everybody else. So so what happened is, about 2 years ago, I started getting a lot of light workers, like clients that are very good at what they do, and this is their practice. Mediums, psychics, clairvoyants, healers, Reiki masters. They all started showing up, like people, big people doing a lot of good work. And I'm like, okay, why are they ending up here? And so my team is like going, well, we're going to be kind of using you like as a tuning fork. So because of the vibrational ascension that I can move from, they can come in and access through me and do whatever tuning that they need to do to this practitioner or healer or whoever they are. And so it's not dependent on what my gifts or abilities are. It's just it's this vibrational space that I can support to allow them to come in and work on these people. So they go, we're kind of using you as a tuning fork to whatever this person is doing. If we can get them up even vibrationally higher, we're going to do it through you.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like Wi-Fi for the light workers. So
I love that. That's
okay. Yeah. So I was like, all right. And so then I'm like, well, what do I have to do? And they're like laughing. Like, what do you have to do? Nothing. You just be in alignment, be grounded, and we're doing the rest. So it's really them coming in. That's why I'm a facilitator. I'm really just facilitating this light force energy to move through me and facilitate for the others. So they keep saying, and they were saying this 2 years ago, everyone needs to be ignited. Everyone needs to be ignited. And they were such like, it's like rush, rush, rush. And I didn't understand. Like, I'm like, well, what's the big rush? Like, we've been walking this planet for a long time. And now where I stand today, I'm like, oh, you know, like, I get what the rush is about now. So, you know, they are really, whomever is out there, no matter where they're vibrating at, if they have a capacity to go higher, they want them to all be raised, 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 because just that energy is so powerful and so potent that it will just vibrationally raise those that are, it's going to help make the ascension for everybody, for those that can ascend. So basically that's what they told me, like, you're here to ignite the light workers, and everyone is a light worker, but we're going to be sending specific people to you that we really want back out there in a higher vibrancy. And that's pretty much what it's been like the last 2 years. And I have had some incredible, I worked with one today, one with these powerhouses that are dormant, you know, they're not even lit. And like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my God, ding, 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 like, let's go. So, you know, it's really interesting. It's interesting to watch. We are living very exciting times.
We are. So thank you. That's an amazing, you know, I think that helps people to see things in a way that they can understand, you know, kind of a way that's what's going on right now. It's powerful.
Yes. Oh yeah. It definitely is powerful.
Because a lot of us, you know, I mean, I get it because I've been in it for 20 years, but you know, but I'm still learning. We're all learning. I mean, you know, there's nothing that we don't know everything. We just keep growing along this whole path. And it's just so good to have someone like you. I mean, you're like the cord, you're like the power cord.
Yeah, the grounding cable. That's it.
The power, I didn't think of that. I'm like, she is the power cord. How cool is that?
Yeah, exactly. But the importance is that it's wonderful to get all these you know, alignments, these vibratory lights relit again. But it's super important, because you're mentioning the grounding cable. You actually have to be grounded. Like, everybody has to be grounded. Because we have to be in our connection, in our alignment, connected to divine source, and sealed and protected, because there is so much charged energy, negative energy, much that is absent of the light that is out there, that if you are this light, you know, it's like the moth to the flame, right? So you have to really ensure that connection and that groundedness. You don't get caught up in the turmoil of everything that is unfolding right now. You have to keep that atonement, that sovereign detachment, where you can see something, understand what's happening, but not participate in it. Stay in the eye of the storm. You don't get pushed around when you're in the center of the storm. It's to be the calm within it all, and hold that calm for those that can't.
Yeah, that's it. That's great. I'm getting the word neutral coming through. You're neutral. You're listening. The eye of the storm is perfect, because you are in a peace. My word right now is observing.
Yes, be the observer.
being an observer. And I know you love the power of now, and that's one of your big connections. And I wanted to ask you how that connected with you. What does the power now do for you? Because you've talked about what's going on now. So that led you here. That's part of the things that brought, so much in for you,
Yeah.
connected with it.
Well, as I was working, so I'm going to just explain something for the listeners in case I don't know what everybody's understanding is, but as a medium, we work in present time.
Mm-hmm.
We receive in the now time. Okay. So if somebody comes to see me for a session and I connect first with their team of light workers, I invite them to come forward to communicate with mine. And then we just ask, okay, so here's this person. What is it that they need to understand? What is it that I need to understand that needs to be relayed to them? Because I'm the middleman,
Mm-hmm.
And if that person is meant to have a psychic reading, then they'll give a psychic reading through me. If it's meant to be clairvoyant reading, it'll be a clairvoyant reading. If it's meant to be a karmic reading, it'll be a karmic reading. And so I'm here simply facilitating whatever energy support this client needs. I never know going into a session with a client what is going to be asked of me until she starts or he starts talking and communicating. And then they're going to go boom, 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 boom. And so we're going to do this or we're going to do that. And in the beginning, when this was happening, when I started, letting them come in and just kind of take over, because it's pretty much what they do, but we ask them to, sometimes they go, oh, you're going to do, I started doing a year ago, ancestral bloodline clearing. And last summer, that's pretty much my entire summer was that. And when they first said, oh, well, we're going to do ancestral bloodline clearing. So I'm sitting here, my client's there, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, and I'm talking to them, but just speaking through my mind, I'm like, I do that? Can I do that? And they're like, yeah. You can do that. And I was like, okay, we'll just guide you through it. I'm like, all right. So they were basically telling me, do this, do this, do this, do this. And this is what I was telling the client. And then they did the whole thing. And then, after, and they said, oh, and we did that and we did that. So sometimes the client leaves and they're going to tell me everything else that they did. They do a lot of other stuff while they're there. But last summer, that was pretty much all the work that I was doing. And it's incredible because, we're working through one individual and they could be healing hundreds of lives. Yeah. A lot of it were women that came from oppressed backgrounds, culturally oppressed. Sure. That were never seen in their light, could not maintain their light, could not own their light, were not given a voice, were killed for their voice, hunted for their voice, abused or whatever. So a lot of these bloodlines where there were these incredibly powerful women who never got to live their power. And when they die like that, they were explaining it to me that they carry that karma like it hasn't been healed. So they went in and did this full clearing for the whole bloodline, all the women, so they all got healed. So I'm like, well, what does that mean? So they're saying, well, should they wish to come back into the physical realm again, that karma has been lifted from them, and now they can come in the full light of who they are and live it and fully expressed, where it was never got to be expressed before. So they're going, the women are going to be the ones that are going to bring the world back up to where it needs to be. So they've been really working on cleaning all of these powerful women that did not get to use their voice, or they used it, but then they were killed for it, hung for it, burned for it, like demeaned for it, called witches for it, for whatever it is. So all that healing was to take place so that these souls, should they wish to come back, could then finally stand in their alignment, in their light, and bring their gifts, but for the, allowing them to be seen for the good that they have and the good that they are. Yes. It's really empowering. So what I have understood in the work that I do, and what they'd explained to me, is that the only people are always looking for control. They want to be in control of things. So when they feel they're in control, they feel like they have it together. Okay, well, I know what's going on, and they're always saying, the only control you have is in present time, but you have full control in present time. How you think predicts your next minute, which predicts the next hour, which predicts the next day. So having conscious awareness of your thoughts and your actions is your full control. And so we can't go back and change what we thought yesterday because it's come and gone. We have 50% control over tomorrow because it's not here yet, but we can project what we want it to be. But in present time, you have 100% control of your vibration, of how you think, and what you project. It's all within your power. And this is what they're really trying to teach me, to help people that I work with understand that we are so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We have all the power, but we have not been raised with the understanding that we do. We are raised to say, you need to learn this and you need to do that, and then you need to go there, and then you need to have this. So we're taught, get outside of yourself and go get what you need. But the irony is, if kids were taught at a very young age to return inward, you know, activate their own wisdom and return to the abilities and gifts that they've come here with and pull from that, it'd be a whole different universe we would be dealing with, you know? So it's to go in, and we come in with specific gifts and abilities and talents because there's going to be a need for something that we have in this timeline that we're here. And if you streamline from that, and how do you know what it is? Well, whatever it is that you do with ease, that's your gift. That's what you're here to do with, you know? And so it was just all the different people that I had that I learned, you know, through all of the different clients in the sessions. I was getting my own education through all of this, how present time is literally the only time that you have full control. And it is dependent on your vibrational alignment. It is dependent on your thoughts, how healthy they are, on your belief systems.
Yeah.
And because your thinking is creating the next moment. So if you can help people understand that they have that control, and that the present time is, when they say it's a present, it's not a joke. If you understand the power of now, you got it. You're good, you know? So it's educating people to the understanding of their own ability, their own power, their own source, because what they have is internal, it's not external. So you need to go back in and retrieve from yourself in order to understand what you're here for, what your gifts are, and anything that you do that you facilitate with ease. These are the things that you're most likely meant to be using, you know, for your life.
Yeah. Those are powerful statements of knowing. I mean, to understand that. And that's that, you know, and just what you said about, well, the power of now is when you're in control. And then you said, what was the other sentence you said right after that? You said, I had it in my head and I was going to write it down. It was all about, I don't know, it went out now. All right. But that was the part that made, but it was so good. I'm like, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense to me, because it just brings you into it makes us the masters of our moment. I mean, this is all about mastery of who we are. And this is what you're talking about.
But let me go one step further. We are already self-mastered. We just need to return to it. Okay. We do come in, like, it is my understanding from the way I live my life and what I've been shown, that we come into specific timelines with specific abilities and gifts because it's going to lend to humanity in the time that we are here.
Mm-hmm.
And if we attune to those abilities and those gifts and that wisdom and that awareness, and we, you know, hone them, we align with them, we use them, then when you are in alignment, there's just like this domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
One thing leads to the next, to the next, to the next. There's no effort. Okay.
Yes.
When you're pushing for something, you're actually working against creation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't force the flower to bloom. The flower blooms.
That's
you know,
right. That's right. Yes.
It's an allowance. There's an allowance. But if you are in alignment with your abilities and your gifts, you just allow them to grow, master, get better, and they're going to lead you down the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is your path of ease. It's supposed to be easy. If you're doing something that comes second nature to you, or it's easy for you, that's what you're meant to be doing. Why? Because your life is meant to be joyful.
Yes.
Meant to be abundant. It's
Yes.
meant to be happy. When we do things that come easily to us, we enjoy doing them.
Yeah, we do.
They bring us happiness. And when we see results from it, that brings us happiness too. When you see something good comes with that, brings you happiness too. So it's to know, you know, people say, well, how do I know? I'm like, it's so easy to know. If it feels good, you're on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't feel good, you're in the wrong path. So let go of the things that don't feel good to you and only keep the things that do. You know how one guy, he was freaking out, goes, well, shit, there's nothing left. I'm like, perfect. You get to start over.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. There's nothing. Yeah. It just shows how much.
Because he was so used to doing the things that he was told to do, that he had to do, that was expected of him, but it's never what felt right for him. And I said to him, there's got to be something that you do that when you do it, you know, you're really good at it, and you really, and goes, oh yeah, it's that. And I'm like, well, then do that. And he goes, well, what's going to come from that? I said, I don't know. But if that's what your easy thing is, that's what you're meant to be doing. And sure enough, he started leaning more towards that. And it linked him to this guy who, anyway, it's a long story, but he ended up getting a job in this company and they were looking for something exactly like that. And you see, like he was in his alignment and then it just unfolded. So, you know, it's just one of those things. They say that if you are in alignment with your gifts and abilities, you are then aligned to all the abundance that the universe is there for to give to you, you know? So the more you are tapped into you, tuned into you, and to who you are and what you're here for, what you're good at, and you just do that, the world will unfold for you. But we're taught the opposite. Work, push, go, attain. And it's so wrong. And it doesn't feel good. Nobody likes it, you know? And I think if there's a one blessing, I mean, not one, but there's been many blessings that have come from this whole lockdown, because as many bad things have happened, good things have come from it as well. And I think that people have been forced into an understanding that there's our different ways of doing things now. You know, people that always had to go to work, that always had to go away from it, and now are working from home, and they're seeing that, I can do that and still do this, and I have more time with my family. You know, there's a lot of shifting of understanding of how things had to be, and you're going, well, now that we've had to do it like this and it's working like this, I want to keep it like this because this works better for me.
Yes.
So people are being given an opportunity to see how they can improve their own choices and decisions. You know, it all boils down to choice. You know, we have choice, like people forget. It's being removed, but it's still there.
Yeah. When I first woke up, that was the one thing I actually figured out. I actually have a choice. Like, instead of just doing what people expect of you, I have a choice. Because like you're saying, the expectations have guided us into all the wrong directions half of the time, where when you make a choice, a very cognizant choice in the present now moment, you are aligned and you get it. Yeah. And I love it.
And you know, because I was like, well, how do I know? I said, because you feel good when you're aligned. You're happy with your life.
Yes. And I think that was
good where you are. You know, you're good where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about not having expectations. It's about having an allowance that you know that things are going to unfold because you're feeling good about it, because there's an ease about it. You're lining up with that ease and that flow. Like, it's the vibrational alignment. You know, what you vibrate out is what is going to be returned to you. So if you just say, you know, everything is just always easy for me, everything is always a flow, well, guess what's going to come back to you? Exactly that. But if you have the other person that says, oh, it's always so hard for me, it never happens for me, it's always, well, guess what they're going to get? Exactly that. You know, what you hold as your belief will be your truth. Yeah. So what do you want to believe? You know, like, believe the things that are going to work for you and not work against you. It's important.
I love that. So this is how you're saying vibration can work in your life too, when you connect to the vibration that really, you know, accelerates your life. And
vibration and the understanding of your vibration is everything.
Okay.
Because where you vibrate at decrees what is returned to you.
Okay.
So if you don't understand what you're vibrating out, or at what level you're vibrating out, then anything could be coming back to you. When you understand what you're vibrating out and you hold that vibrational attunement to what you want returned to you, now you can get returned to you that which you'd like to see happen. So I explained this. I have one of the analogies that I use is a lighthouse. So your lighthouse has 11 floors, and each floor is a different vibrational alignment. So the lower floors are lower vibratory alignment. So stress, worry, fear, lack, whatever that is, all in the lower floors. And then the higher floors are, you know, being in your alignment, in your passion, in your joy, in your happiness, financial flow, financial ease. These are all up in the higher vibrations. Okay. So it's to have people understand that. Then we'll say, okay, well, those are the floors, but how do I know what floor I'm on? By the thoughts that you hold in your head.
Okay.
If your thoughts are thoughts of possibility, and this can happen, and this is always good for me, and these are always working out, then your vibration is quite high, and now you're lining up with that vibrational return. But if your thoughts are self-defeating, self-sabotaging, it's not going to work for me, they're going to pass me over, they're going to give a job to him, they're in a low vibratory energy, well, they're signaling out there, and that's the signal that's being returned to them. So you have to shift the way you think in order to move up vibrationally. But in order to even move up vibrationally, you first have to be in your vibrational set point. You have to learn how to move into your space, connect to your spirit, anchor and ground to the gifts and ability that are yours, and allow your navigational system to start showing you who you are, what you have, what your capacities are, and they're going to lend you to the different opportunities and possibilities that are meant for you. If we are in a low vibratory state, and that is what is returned to us, we need to release the thoughts that are keeping us locked or blocked, and allow ourselves to move up vibrationally to what is. So it's like, you know, I watch people who want to manifest, and they'll make a list of all these things that they want to co-create. Now, we co-create every day with our thinking. We really do. The lives we are living have been co-created by our thoughts. So let's use that as an example. If you're living a life that you don't like, you have to understand that it's your thinking that created that. But the beautiful note is, what you can do, you can undo. So in knowing that your thoughts created this dissatisfaction, if you change your thinking, you can redirect it to what you want. We often focus on what we fear instead of focusing on what we'd like to see instead. And so what do we get? More fear. So it's learning how to correct our thinking to allow us to have the thinking that's going to align us to the manifestation that we want to create, and not the manifestation that we're fearing to experience, which is pretty much what's been happening in the last 3 months. So when you want to create a manifestation and you have all these ideals of how you'd like to live, you have to be the vibrational recipient. You need to be standing there to be the receiver for it to come back to you. And if you're down here on the 2nd floor of the lighthouse and everything is there up on the 11th floor, it's going to keep passing you by. You know, so you have to move up vibrationally, and how you move up vibrationally is by letting go of these thoughts that are keeping you limited, that are keeping you stuck, releasing them and saying, I'm allowing for this, I'm allowing for this, I'm allowing for this. So you can write your list of manifestation, but then you have to, it's like if I say to you, come to my house for dinner, and then I leave, you're going to stand there at the door with wine and flowers and like, no one's answering the door. I have to stay here to let you in, right? So if you're going to manifest something, you have to hold the you have to stay vibrationally expectant in order for that vibration to return to you. If you're like, oh, that's a great idea, but you go back down here, well, it's never going to happen. And it's not that the vibration can't return to you, it's that you're not there to receive it. So it's your mindset and how you think and how you believe. And, you know, I have one client, and he's hilarious. He came to me because he had such a low self-esteem, and we've worked together for over 6 years now. And this guy, he's a wizard, and he understands now that he can create whatever he wants. So the minute he there's something he doesn't like, he goes, I'm gonna let it go. I'm like, really? Oh yeah, I can have better than that. I'm gonna have better than that. He decrees it, he allows it, and poof, it happens. He knows now that the minute he believes that there is more comes.
That's amazing.
He doesn't even hold a thought that it can't even happen now, because he's shown himself so many things. Now even I'm like, oh, you know, he's very risky.
That's very good though.
He has such a self-confidence. He completely turned it all around. And he's just like, oh, that's not going to work. Well, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to make it happen like this and like that. Sure enough, he'll come in for the next session. He's like, well, I got this and this. And it's like, of course you did, you know, because he believed he could. He completely turned it around. And he said, it's so easy. I didn't realize how easy it was. It's all how I think. If I think it can happen, it will. And if it doesn't, it wasn't meant for me. And he's right. Like sometimes we think this is supposed to happen a certain way, and we hold the vibration and stand there and wait, and then it's not happening. But I always say to people, if it's not happening, either the timing is not set up for everything else for it to come into alignment, or it's not the time for you to receive that. And sometimes we have to live and experience other things before that can unfold. So there's still that mystery of life that we haven't, you know, that there's other things that are meant to happen. But I have seen through my practice that everything happens in perfect timing. That I've seen again and again and again. So when you are actually ready, you know, sometimes we think we're ready, but then there's still things to learn, or there's still things to release, or there's still things to heal. Like I was working with a client, and she wants a new relationship, but she's carrying a lot of animosity and anger and hurt from an old relationship. And I said, listen, that's what you're holding on to right now. That's your vibration, and that's what you're signaling out. That's what you're getting. Do you want a guy that's like that? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, we need to heal that. You need to feel good and sound and happy. Then that's going to be your signal, and that's the kind of guy that's going to show up for you.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I go, so again, it's present time showing you that where your thoughts are, what you hold as your beliefs will create the future. So choose wisely, be conscientious of your thinking, you know, allow that subconscious thinking, because that's really where the power is in your subconscious mind. They're the red light, green light people, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to really have that internal awareness so
Mhm.
that when you catch yourself thinking negative and like,
Oh,
hello, we're human, we do,
yeah.
that's
Mhm.
okay. It's just to grab it and say, whoops, release
No,
that back out and
yeah.
reset yourself back to the alignment that you'd like to see happen. And this is how you can kind of just skip over that. It's the 1, 2, 3, address it, clear it, release it, and step back to where you want to go. So there's all these tricks that you can do to reset yourself if you get off track. You know, we get off track. Life will
Oh,
throw
yeah.
us something and it'll destabilize us, but you don't have to stay unstable for 2 weeks. You can just go, whoa, address it, have your fit about it, clear it, and then get back into alignment. You know,
Yeah. I
it's
love that.
doable.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
all doable. It's the thing is, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I said this to every single client. It's so easy. It's so easy to be you. You have forgotten. But as you step into yourself and as you sit in that alignment, you feel well being you. You return to that and you're like, yeah, it's true. This is easier than anything else I've done. Yes,
Mm,
of course it is, because you're being you. So it's just to remind people that it's easy to be them. We've
that's
forgotten.
that's fantastic. So, you know, this is so powerful, all the things you're telling us. I mean, you're just putting it all together that, you know, this is making, this is what this is who we're meant to be. Live and enjoy. Life should be easy when you're in alignment, and when you're not, you can shift it quickly. I love that 1, 2, 3 step. That is powerful for people to hear too. And
Yeah.
yeah, all
Yeah.
these things, I mean, when we let go of all the heaviness, we can start seeing it. And that's what I've been learning myself over the years. And it takes what
This
it
is
takes. Like you said, it takes what it takes. And when you're ready, you're ready. So,
exactly, exactly. And this is what I love about when I work with my team, because I do so much breath work with all of the clients that I work with, because it's the fastest way for energy to move in and move out. It's through the breath. That's how we release energy. And so when you watch that happen so easily, you know, this one people say, I say, you know, if you have anything that is stopping, blocking, or preventing you from being in all of your alignment, all of your gifts and all of your abilities, for sure invest in getting that cleaned up, because once you're back on that set point, you're off, you're good to go, you know?
mm,
So I think it's wonderful for people to have access to people like myself who are able to facilitate this for others. But the importance, and this is where I stress the importance of the work that I do, is I want to remind everybody that they have the capacity for themselves. It's nice to come and see me. It's nice to get cleaned up. And when you need a big cleanup, even I myself, I will go and see another light worker to get that same thing
sure.
done for myself. But it's to understand that you can maintain that alignment. You can maintain that vibration. You can get back into your set point, and now the power is yours. It's returning the power back to the people, putting it back in their hands and saying, you've had the reins the whole time.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
yours to hold. You know, you have this power. You have this ability. This is not meant for just people like me. I am people like you. You know, I have refined it. I've tuned into it. Yes, I certainly have certain abilities and, you know, gifts that's what I came in with.
mhm.
But everyone is designed to pull from themselves. So you just need to be shown how. But once you know how, then now you have your autonomy. Now you're stepping into your sovereignty.
Yeah.
You're moving from your wisdom, your knowing, which is more important than anything else you're going to hear out there.
Yes.
It's yours. You've gathered it over lifetimes and timelines, and you hold it. But it's to learn to return to it. That's your gift.
That's amazing. So what you just said sounds like, I always ask, you know, what's your message for the rest of 2020? I don't know if you have any more, but you've given us so many. I'm like, oh my goodness.
My message,
She's
God.
almost, yeah. Why your combined message from your,
What would my message be for the rest of 2020? Well, my personal, so this is me as a person, would be to stop buying into the fear and the anxiety that is being pushed down the throats of humanity, and to return to the sovereignty, return to your heart, and start listening to what makes sense to you.
Mhm.
Because there's so much happening that does not make sense, that does not add up, that does not compute. And stress has a wonderful way of keeping you very constricted, which keeps you very low vibrationally, which really prevents you from having your clarity. Stress and overwhelm, fear, anger, these are low vibratory energies. And the longer you sit in them, the more detached you become from your spirit, the more detached you become from your clarity, and the more detached you become from your own innate wisdom. We should all be navigating through this quite well if we were all interconnected. We'd be able to see. Okay? But when you're down that low and you get hit first with fear and then anxiety and then stress and now anger with all of it, like poo, 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 poo. It's just over everything. And people are just going lower, lower, lower vibrationally. They get less clear, less connected, and less clarity. Yes. They're pawns now. Yes. It's not a good place to be.
It's easy to be controlled, and it's easy to be, led in a direction that
that's how you keep people down, by keeping them in that low vibratory state. And they're detached from their state. So I would say, if there's a message for the rest of 2020, return to your heart, start breathing, go back in your heart. Listen, when you ask yourself, not is it right or wrong, does it feel right to me? Does this feel right to me? Does something feel off about this? Does something feel not right? Start returning to your own wisdom. It's not about listening to what someone else believes or someone else says. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to have a judgment. Everyone's going to have something to say. And it's not about what I think or what I believe. I have my own beliefs. I have my own understandings that have been given to me. They're mine. But for people to believe in something, it has to come from a truth. You have to resonate with it. Yes. And understanding comes from resonance. So I would say, if you want to make it through all this brume, all of these clouds, return to your heart, close your eyes, push it all aside and say, what feels right to me? Because that's your first step back to your own alchemy and your sovereignty, your voice. So I would say to take the time to reconnect, to realign, to anchor and ground to your spirit and return to the truth that is you. Because we have, all of us, our own innate knowing, our own innate wisdom, which is connected with source divine light energy. And if we could just lock into that and streamline from that self-assurance and that understanding, it would be there for you, which would then lend for you the discernment to see with clarity, not judgment.
Right.
Clarity. See things for what they are. And then move from, I'm just going to plug it in. Hang on a second.
Go right ahead. Sorry about that, guys.
It's going to completely disconnect.
We don't want to lose her. So we went a little over, and I'm sure you're going to be happy that we stayed connected. So it's kind of fun.
Hang on.
When life does these things.
Exactly.
This is so well, everything you said is so powerful. I have to say, Donna. I mean, it was Donna Marie. It's just beautiful what you're saying, and so powerful, and you're so clear in your understanding. So I know you have a gift to offer. So thank you for that amazing message. A lot of clarity, I think, for people to really think about too, and for all of us. We need to hear it sometimes from other, to clear the cobwebs a little.
It's to really detach from the fear, detach from the noise, the stimulus. I would tell everybody, if you want to survive the rest of 2020, I'd say turn off your TV. Turn it off. Start listening to what you feel is right. Do what you feel is right, because you're going to get a lot more wisdom and guidance in that respect, for sure.
You have to look at your own world, what's going on there, and you're it's okay. Then realize it's okay. And just enjoy what's going on around you. Be grateful. I'm very grateful for my world right now. And I'm very
and to find that place within all that is happening, and to be able to hold a calm and to hold a detachment, that you can see it and not let it, knock your house over.
Exactly. So I know you have some amazing offers. You have a free one, then you have another offer, which would be great to tell us about.
I'm laughing because I'm like, where did I put them?
I understand that. So I have.
You have it? Yeah. You want to read it out, and you read it out to me, and I'll explain what it is.
All right. I'm going to. Oh dear. Do I have it here? Oh, hold on a minute. We're both having an issue here, because I thought I had it here and I didn't. I had.
Okay. Hold on a second. So I'm going to just tell you. Yeah. So I'm offering 2 packages. Okay. There's package A. And what I'm offering in package A, it's the program, and this is the program that I'm selling on every single telesummit that I've been doing. I've started doing telesummits in February, and I've been very fortunate in being asked to come on to different ones. And every time I ask Spirit, well, should I be doing a different pattern? No, it's all about, you know, the reason I created this package is called Stepping into Spirit. It's learning how to do your anchoring, how to do your grounding, how to make that connection, how to call in your team. And I designed that program. Well, it was designed through Spirit. They had me write it down one afternoon. It was from working with so many clients that as I was working with them and clearing them vibrationally, I was not me, but a lot of their own capacity started to open up. You know, when we call me questions, oh, I'm seeing things now, or I just saw spirits, or I'm feeling things, or I'm hearing. So I was like, oh, we're opening up doors for them as we lift and clear the blocks. They're kind of rising up. So they said, yes. So you're going to create a program now that's going to school them on the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of how to ground, how to connect, and how to align. And so the program was written for people who wanted to go to the next step. And then when I started doing the telesummits, Spirit was telling me, there's nothing glamorous about this program, but for what we are going through and the ascensions that are going to be taking place, every single man, woman, and child needs to know how to be anchored and grounded, or they're going to get sucked into the storm, chewed up, and spat out.
True.
So I was like, oh, okay. So they're going, it's the core basics, but if you do not know that, you're not going to be able to hold your vibration because of the conundrum of everything that is happening right now. We need to be able to stay in the eye of the storm. We need to be strong in our conviction when things are happening around us that don't make sense or don't feel right, and to be able to sit with who we are free of judgment and say, you know. So this is why I've kept the program, and I'm keeping it, because if you don't have a routine on anchoring and grounding and closing your chakras, where you are not absorbing circumstantial energy, I'm calling it the energy of the world. People who are light workers or empaths or clairvoyants, they absorb a lot naturally because we pick up, we're receivers. So if you don't know how to shut that off and turn that off, you want to keep your light, you want to maintain your light, you want to maintain your vibration, but you don't want to be the sponge for everybody else. So this is the program that really teaches you how to maintain your sovereignty within all of this. And so the package A has that program, and then I am offering 3 Zoom calls. So after they receive the package, I'm going to have 3 Zoom calls where we're going to run through everything that is in the package so they have a full understanding on how to use it, how to apply it. There's a lot of prayers, kind of like a prayer that I use with these packages, because really important when you're connecting that you are clear on what you're choosing to connect with, what you're choosing to anchor to and align to, because there's lots of different things out there.
Yes.
And so it's really the old school way that they're saying, we got to bring this back because people have been skipping over it, and no one can skip over it now. So that's package A. And I have, what do I have here? I'm just going to put on my eyes. Package A is, okay, so package A that is $147. And the value is $1,960. So you're getting package A, the program, and then I'm adding $770 worth of bonuses. These are breathing techniques. You've got the lighthouse technique that I talked about, learning how to maintain your vibration. You have the 1, 2, 3 step, learning how to, if you get misaligned from your energy, how to address it, clear it, release it, let it go. You're going to learn the circle breath, which is allowing you to release and let go of any energy that is lowering you vibrationally. Every single one of my clients that meets me for the first time, they have to do the circle breath. There's, the bonuses are, they're great. So that's in package A. And then package B is $197. It's all of package A, but with the one-on-one as well, 30-minute one-on-one. So 30-minute one-on-one, what is the value of that? Well, if you do hold on to anything, or you have anything that you feel is locking you or blocking you or preventing you from being in your full alignment, this is a wonderful opportunity to let, spirit step in and clean that up, release it and let it go, so that when you do your attunement and your alignment, you're in already a much higher vibrational place to click and connect. So If there's something holding you back and you feel like that would be of benefit to you, then package B is the way to go. If you already feel good and on point and you just want to learn how to anchor and ground correctly and do the 3 Zoom calls. And in the Zoom calls, I will do cold calling. So about 3 people during the call, I'll call in by numbers, and they have a chance to be on the hot seat where we'll do the clearing and see whatever it is that they need to work on. So you have an opportunity to work with me one-on-one, well, but with other people, obviously, because it's in Zoom, but it's another opportunity to work. So if for me, the intention is to really make sure that if they do it, they understand how to do it correctly. And if they have any questions about it, then I'm there on the Zoom calls to answer those questions. So to make sure that you know, all those who are being reignited and reconnected and recentered have their proper navigational skills.
Wow. Those are fantastic. Thank you so much for that. That is
You're welcome.
Such a generous offer. So I just want to thank our audience for listening, and please give us your feedback. I know Donna Marie is amazing. Her energy is just, it's contagious. You just have this contagious energy. It's just so great. And any takeaways from the show, please email me. You know, I'll always answer it. And anything you need, I can refer to Donna Marie. Her links will be below. We can talk, you know, that'll all be included. And thank you, Donna Marie, so much for being this divine.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
That you are, and then the intuitive, you're so aligned, and you're so, you know, so ready to bring to humanity all this raising of our frequencies and raising and accelerating our consciousness. And you're helping everyone to ignite their unlock their passions, ignite their authenticity, and finally
reclaim. It's really about reclaiming, you know, like whatever you're doing that's working great, keep it, but recenter, realign to all the rest of your bounty. You know, there's incredible abundance for everyone. It's not for some and not for others. It's for everybody. And I think it's to just demystify that some people can do this and some people can. It's like, no, everybody can. We can do it in different degrees. You know, I've been doing meditation since I'm 23, so I've got like a good couple of years below my belt, which has allowed for me to make this beautiful ascension for what I streamline from now. You know, I never knew back then that it was going to lead to all of this. I had no idea. Somebody just kept saying, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And I did. And, you know, and I'm glad I did. You know, I think the biggest message I want to leave people with is that we are meant to live very joyful lives. We are meant to be living very abundant lives. And we are joyful in spirit. You know, if you look at babies, that's the proof is in the pudding. You don't see babies that are walking around going, this is a fucking day. You know, like babies poop and then they smile. You know?
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Older people poop and smile too, though. So that's just kind of a thing.
Well, we do return to our babyhood somewhat as we get older, don't we?
But it's to kind of, you know, like if you look at children, they're at ease because they're always living in present moment.
Yeah.
We start to remove that from the present moment when we're telling them when it's time to eat and when it's time, instead of letting them just follow their inner clocks. We fuck them up because we're saying, no, you can't eat now. I'm hungry. Nope, you can't be hungry now. You have to be hungry later. No, you can't play now because you have to be sleepy now. But I'm not sleeping. It doesn't matter. Go to sleep. Like we break them. And if we weren't breaking them, they would follow their own rhythm and their own pattern. They'd be moving from their own innate knowing. You know, a child will not starve itself. A child will eat when it's hungry. He will fall asleep when he's tired. But we try to structure them into our illusionary world and we break them, you know, unfortunately at a young age. So we are designed to be happy. So it's to remember that and to return to that. And if your life isn't easy, know that it can be. It can be.
It can be amazing. And you know, we're working towards that right now. So everybody, good message to listen to. So I'm Janet Miller, and I thank you all. I'll see you all on the next episode. Thank you again, Donna.
Thank you, Janet.
So awesome. So awesome. Thank you so much.